So this is the 11th session on the topic of music through MATLAB, and we continue our study of melodies. So in last couple of sessions we were talking about the pitch patterns and we have seen a couple of them. Let us see a few more. One pitch contour which is often used is descending. So the characteristics of this is that it starts on the highest note and then descends to a lower note. So when you have got a descending kind of pitch contour, the frequency keeps on decreasing. It gives rise to a sad feeling. It evokes serious emotions. That is the effect of descending kind of contour. So let's see an example of this. Again, we got 4/4 rhythm, one cycle of teen tal. And if you look at this starts from the highest note, that is your tar saptak shadaj. It keeps on going down, though not monotonically, as we have said often, otherwise it becomes boring. So it starts with tar saptak shadaj and then it goes down to madhya saptak shadaj. So it keeps, the overall pattern is decreasing or descending. So if we plot this, now let us first of all discuss the rhythm pattern and then we'll discuss the pitch pattern. Rhythm pattern is simple. So first measure is 4 notes of 1 matra each. All blue notes are 1 matra. So 1, 1, 1, 1. Second measure is also 1, 1, 1, 1. Third measure is also 1, 1, 1, 1. It is only the fourth measure that you have a single note of 4 matra durations or a whole note as in Western notation. Alright. So there is not much variation in the rhythmic pattern. But let us look at the pitch pattern. If you look at the first measure, you find that it's descending all the way here. Then before you start the second measure, you come up a little. Now with some variation, we are not completely going down here. We repeat the pitch. Now we go down, repeat the pitch again. Then go up a little, repeat the pitch, go down again and go down further and finally rest on the Madhya Saptak Shadaj. So although in between you may have lows and highs, but overall you see that you start from the highest note and end on the lowest note. So overall it's a descending kind of contour or descending pitch pattern. So let us see how it sounds. Let me play that again along with the graph. Alright, so that was descending contour. Let us now look at one more kind of contour, which we call as the stationary contour. So stationary contour, the starting and ending notes are same or at least close to one another. Now stationary contour does not have a very much change in the frequency, either in the upside or in the low side. Therefore, you will find that not a large number of notes are used in this, and usually there will be a lot of repeated notes. So this will generate a kind of a hovering sensation. You are neither going up much nor going down much. So that's why we call it stationary. Alright, so let us take an example of this. Again, our rhythm is again 4/4, one cycle of teen tal. And you can see that in this case, the only 3 notes are used. So you got Shadaj, Rishabh and Gandhar. So you look at any of these notes, you will find it will belong to one of the 3. So very few notes are used. So you will not have too much of jumping or you will not descend to a low note. So what we are doing is, in order to make it somewhat interesting, we have provided some kind of rhythmic pattern here, because pitch pattern is not very interesting in the sense that if you look at the pitch pattern, it starts from this frequency, Rishabh, and ends and Rishabh again. So from this is the starting note, this is the ending note. In between, of course, you go up and down, but not too much because we have used only 3 notes. So a lot of repeated notes. You can see this is repeated here, this is here, this frequency same as this frequency, This frequency is same as this frequency and so on. However, we have created some hopefully interesting rhythmic pattern. So you have got Rishabh of 1.5 matra duration. This is half matra. So yellow is 1.5 matra, san is half matra, blue as usual is 1 matra, and red as usual is 2 matra. So we got 1.5 half, so that makes it 2, 3, 4. So the first measure is built like this rhythmically. The second measure is slightly different rhythmically. So you got two notes of 2 matras each. Now the rhythm in the third measure is similar to the rhythm in the first measure. You can see 1.5, half, 1, 1. And finally, you got a whole note, that is R. So that is an example of a stationary pattern. Of course, you can build a large many of them, large many examples of stationary pattern. Let us see how it sounds. It will be more interesting from a rhythmic viewpoint. As you can see, okay, let me play that again and try to show on the graph. So that is stationary. So we have more or less taken care of most of the pitch patterns which are normally used. Now what I'm going to do is to give you example of some known melodies. One Western one that is Mary Had a Little Lamb, and the other one is one of the Hollywood movie songs. I'll not go through the analysis of this too much. You can just pause the video at this point and go through that. I'll just play it for you. And you can see, if you look at the first cycle here, it starts from a low note, goes on increasing and hits the high note. And here it goes on decreasing. So you have got a ascending pattern in the first cycle and a descending pattern in the second cycle. So let us play this and see how it sounds. Okay, let me play that again. All right, one more example. Again, I'll not go through the analysis of this. You can just pause the video and go through this. But what I want to show to you is that this is one of the known songs from Bollywood. And if you look at the phrase 1, it's an inverted arc kind of thing. And if you look at the phrase 2, it is an ascending phase. So let us play and see how it sounds. Incidentally, in this particular case, I have changed the notation slightly. In the case that 0.5 matra, previously we had used sand color. Here somehow I had used purple color, so I'm letting it remain like that. But anyway, first phrase is inverted arc and the second phrase is ascending. So let's play this. And note that what we are doing is we are playing phrase 1, then phrase 2 and return to phrase 1 again. All right. So in the last 3 sessions, we have seen how melodies are built, what are the rhythmic patterns used, what are the kind of pitch patterns which are used. And we shall start with a new topic from our next session. But for this session, that's all.